Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. And man, we got a lot of fun things to talk about today, especially the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. Ja Morant, 52 points last night. You got to be kidding me. Out of control. Absolutely amazing.
He's not kidding you, John. It actually happened. I watched it.
It really did happen. You know the weird thing is, though? I never even heard anything. I saw this on the this morning. It's kind of a different stat that was out there. But the Grizzlies have played 2,207 games. That's the first in the 2,207th game. That was the first time any Grizzlies player had ever scored 50 points.
How about that?
How about that? The next longest streak was Kemba Walker for the Hornets. The Hornets took them 2,098 games. The Grizzlies 2,207. But they have now one of the best guards in the country. Ja Morant is balling. We're going to talk a lot about Ja and this Grizzlies team. We talked about him yesterday. We talked about how basically everything Taylor Jenkins touches seems to turn to gold, right? This team loves playing for each other. They don't. You watch the Lakers. Remember the other night when I was telling you about the Lakers and how we were making money betting against them?
That's right.
Did you?
You mentioned that.
Do you watch like the end of that ball game? LeBron James put the towel over his head and is leaving the game. Basically right before he's going straight to the locker. They don't look to really care about each other. Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, yeah, they might be buddies, but they don't really like playing basketball together. Doesn't have that feel, does it? When you watch the Grizzlies, they play for one another. They play as a team. They play like they all have a chip on their shoulder, and I mentioned this a couple days ago earlier, whenever I was talking about them. They really, really like each other. They wanted Ja to get that 50 points last night.
Clearly.
They were playing for him. They told him to go out there and get it. It was pretty awesome to watch. Again, Ja finished with 52 points, 7 rebounds. He had only 2 assists. You know he was in attack mode.
50 burger.
50 burger. And the Grizzlies took care of business. 118 to 105 over the San Antonio Spurs. Yesterday, we're going to talk again, a lot of Grizzlies. We'll talk MLB lockout.
Oh, the lockout.
The deadline.
Did you see Rob Manfred power walking from side to side yesterday?
Yes.
It was one of the great feats of athleticism, maybe in baseball history. What do you think, John?
I think that you're a little bit crazy.
Top 5, maybe.
Top 5, maybe? Oh. The thing that I was going to tell you all is if you didn't know, yesterday was the deadline. You did know that, right?
That's right. But if you listen to Wolo and Friends, Tim Doolin says he's got some inside sources from MLB reporting that he thinks the deal gets done today.
A lot of people think it is because guess what they did? They pushed the deadline back to 5 p.m. Eastern time today.
Oh.
Kind of makes me wonder if they know what the meaning of a deadline is.
Right. If you can just change deadlines, it's not really a deadline, is it? Well, there's multiple deadlines, John. This is deadline
by
1.
By definition, a deadline is a deadline. Moving
semantics,
that suckers, moving that sucker. It makes me a little bit nervous for the guys who are negotiating the deal.
John, you have to get it done by today. Well, how about tomorrow? Let's do it tomorrow?
They did have 16 hours together. They worked until like 2:30 in the morning. They tried to get everything together. They tried to get on the right side of this. I will talk to you about the negotiations actually right now because if you are wondering, the weather is absolutely beautiful.
The weather outside is not frightful.
No, it is gorgeous, and it makes you think of baseball, doesn't it? The boys of summer.
The boys of fall. That's football, I think.
The boys of spring. They're actually the boys of summer.
The boys of spring is March Madness. Those are college basketball players.
No, but that's why I said the boys of summer.
Boys of summer is baseball, and boys of fall is football.
Got you.
What is the boys of winter? Basketball, NBA players.
Hoops. Starts on Christmas Day.
That's right.
I always say
and college basketball doesn't start till today, actually. Happy March.
Happy March. Yes, by the way.
And it's Mardi Gras, John. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. Are you planning on drinking a bunch of Tito's and throwing beads at people?
Of course, Fat Tuesday,
Dig
John,
that.
the beads for Mardi Gras used to be made out of real beads. Now they're made out of plastic,
Hold on.
Much like the breasts they're thrown at.
What do you mean real beads?
Oh, you stepped on my joke there.
Oh, go ahead.
That's fun. They used to be made out of real beads, though, like, the heavy beads.
No, but you need to say that joke again because it went over my head.
Oh, that's okay. Well, they used to be made out of real beads. Now they're made out of plastic, much like the breasts they're thrown at.
Oh, I got you. That makes a lot. That was a good joke.
Thank you, John.
By the way, what are real beads?
I don't know. It's like heavy beads, a bead.
Actually, I don't.
I don't know either, but I know they're heavy. I don't know what beads are made out of. Let's see.
The oldest beads found to date. Yeah, they're like 42,000 years old, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're made of.
Huh. Oh, they're made out of usually material made out of stone, bone, shell, glass, plastic, wood, or originally pearl. So pearl beads maybe is the original bead, pearl. Which
She wore a pearl necklace.
That's right. And you know pearl necklaces are heavy usually.
Yes. Do you know the Urban Dictionary term for a pearl necklace?
Yeah, John. I don't think we could say it on the radio though.
I don't either. I just was wondering if you knew about it.
No, I know about it.
Okay, I'm very proud of you.
I'm trying to think of a way I could describe it subtly for the listening
don't
audience,
think
but I
you know
don't
what?
think there is.
We're going to just say,
Look it up.
look it up.
That's right.
You will get a good chuckle.
That's right.
Now, speaking of getting a good chuckle, I got a good chuckle at some of the things about the lockout. So, if you haven't realized, this is now 90 days we've been locked out. This is the, today's March 1st, exactly 3 months we've been locked out.
Let me in.
Jeff Passan also said today, Ken Rosenthal, whoever you're following for your baseball information, basically all came out and said that, the two sides made a lot of progress yesterday. A whole lot of progress. They moved the deadline back to today. The 14-team playoff is dead. Looks like now the teams have agreed on a 12-team expanded playoff format. Also, the other things that they're kind of still far apart on, the competitive balance tax. Basically, Major League Baseball Players Association is looking to increase the threshold to $230 million because you're never going to have a hard cap in baseball.
Right.
Never going to happen.
But you do have a
But
cap.
if you try to make the penalties so severe for the ball club to go over that cap, it does kind of make, a soft cap.
How about the problems they're having on the other end, though, where they can't get certain owners to spend the minimum amount of money required?
It's a great point.
To field the team. That's a big problem with the Marlins, where Derek Jeter gets to walk away and write this big note like they're not trying to win, and I had to step away from because of that. Oh, big hero Derek Jeter, like you weren't the one that traded away Giancarlo Stanton. Literally every good player they've had, Christian Yelich goes away and wins the MVP. Why does Derek Jeter get to be the hero, John? He did the same thing he's condemning his bosses for doing, even though he was the boss when he was there doing that behavior. Drives me. I'm not a Derek Jeter guy anymore. Not a captain fan.
Kettle,
yeah,
pot.
Meet the cat. Pot, meet kettle. Kettle, meet pot.
I like it. By the way, the minimum salary situation. Did you know that baseball has the lowest of the four major men's sports? Their league minimum was going into this year $575,500. They want it to be $700,000. MLB came up yesterday and they went as high as $675,000. I almost call that a win. Major League Baseball Players Association, suck that sucker up.
Yeah.
Like that's something. Don't keep us apart for $25,000. They also want to help the pre-arbitration players.
Does that mean getting there faster?
No, just like you have to give 3 years of service before you have an opportunity to get arbitration.
Right.
Well, the MLB Players Association has come up with this little thing called a bonus pool. So right now the players want $25 million in this bonus pool, and basically it's paid for your performance on the field. So if you are not arbitration eligible and you go out and have a great season, you'll get rewarded per basically how it is that you play. I don't know the structure of it. They're trying to work it out. It's a bunch of baseball guys. We'll see how complicated this thing gets.
Well, guys, remember a couple years ago, I don't know what made me think of this, but you talking about that made me think of a couple years ago when Colton Wong, playing second base for the Cardinals, went to the MLB All-Star game, and then the next season played in AAA because his contract was such that they could still work that. Even though he had already performed at such a level, his contract was structured in a way that was disadvantageous, not advantageous for him.
Yes,
yeah,
that was
a lot of words.
That was not advantageous for Colton Wong, and that hurt him a little bit. Yes,
just
course.
One example
Cardinals.
I could think of.
There's a lot of examples out there, but point is, there is still a chance that the baseball season does start on March 31st.
Ooh.
There is a chance, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed.
I believe it, Sean. I'm on board.
You're on board? It's going to happen?
I think so.
Are you speaking it into existence?
Yeah, I think you should do the same.
All right, baseball, you will start on
time. We're on board, guys.
We are on board. I'm looking forward to it. One other sidebar about baseball. I don't know if you saw this. This is just kind of a little something that came out. It's been reported by some Braves writers down there that my man Freddie Freeman, we talked about it. Remember I told you there's no way that he's going to go back and play for the Braves?
Yes, well, Buster Olney said that.
Well, Buster, and I told you that he wasn't going to.
Right, Buster only implied it might not, and you went out as far as to say, look here, it's not a might not. He ain't going.
He ain't going to because, number one, the Braves, they are cheap. Even though they've made a record amount of money last year, one of the best seasons they've ever had, they'll cry that they don't have a big TV deal. They're not a big market team. They'll say all these things. And they're going to offer Freddie Freeman, it sounds like, 5 years.
I feel like
5-year
they are a
deal.
big market, aren't they? Atlanta, that's a big market. It's like Miami
But
crying
they say
small
that
market.
they say because they don't have one of the larger TV
Right.
deals in Major League
Same
Baseball.
thing Miami does.
They cry.
As though those are small markets in the grand scheme of market value.
But they have already sold all their season tickets for next season, whenever next season does happen, or this season coming up.
Right.
They were top 3 in attendance last year. They are making plenty of money. They can make an offer.
Absolutely.
But I will tell you, Freddie Freeman, they say they're going to only give him a 5-year deal. But let me tell you why he won't take a 5-year deal. Because one, the market's going to give him 6-7 years. Number one. Number two is they made him play his entire contract out last year. If you asked him 12 months ago to take a 5-year deal, you know what? Freddie Freeman would have done it because that gives him security. No baseball player wants to play in the final season of their contract because you know what happens? What if you get injured? Well, now you're not getting but maybe a 2-year deal.
And even if you don't, the stress related to doing that is ridiculous.
The questions every day after the game.
Seriously.
So have the sides come together? Do you think you're going to come back with the Braves? Well, you know what? They had in his last year of contract, he goes and plays out there. He risks himself, injury, and all that good stuff. He goes out there, plays for the Braves. They have a miracle season. They win it all. And now you're going to lose him. And this is probably going to be one of the saddest things since Dale Murphy got traded to the Phillies. Braves fans are going to cry.
But how about let's do some math, though, John, okay? So Acuna gets hurt. Excuse me, not Acuna.
Ronald
Acuna. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Acuna gets hurt, goes down.
Yep.
And then the Braves surge, right?
No.
Well, they were already doing well.
There was also, don't forget, the Braves had a whole lot of issues last year. The fact that they
then you have
pulled
Ozuna.
this, yeah, like I was going to Marcell Ozuna beating up his wife, getting kicked off the team. You had the injury to Acuna that was just ugly and scary.
Terrible.
But then they go and bring in a bunch of just, bunch of bros. They go out there and they play ball like a bunch of madmen.
Yeah, that's right. They got Jock and anyway. But my point is well, you get rid of Freddie, but you get no kidding. But you get and Stephen Vogt, of course, and then you get Acuna back though. So you really trade Freddie for Acuna, kind of. So
no,
maybe
because
positive.
Here's the thing: is you want a young core like having Ozzy Albies and Ronald Acuna and Freddie Freeman together at one time. That's a heck of a nucleus.
Johan Camargo, although he hasn't panned out.
No, I was gonna say I don't think so.
Austin Riley, Memphis product.
Austin Riley.
There's another one.
He went to Mississippi State, played down there?
I don't think he ended up playing at Mississippi State. Did he? He went straight. He was going to go to Mississippi State.
That's
right.
That is right.
From Olive Branch. Played for Tim Doohan, I believe. Who was just on the radio with Dave Woloshin.
Sure was.
How about that? Small world. I guess it's only Memphis. It's not that small.
You're such a lunatic. But anyway, point is, I think that's the little baseball speech for y'all because I know it feels like summer. Feels like spring.
It's 70 degrees.
People love
baseball
baseball. But, man, this is Hoop City. So we're going to get into some hoops. Plus, we're going to talk some NFL action with Gabe Kuhn at noon. Hut. Big number 71 is at noon. A nooner with Gabe Kuhn at 11:30. David Cobb from CBSSports.com.
D-Cobb.
We got to talk some college basketball. I don't know if you know this.
BCS graduate.
I bet you do not know this.
Okay.
So, do you know how absolutely crazy Saturday was when it comes to college basketball?
You're right, John. I don't know this. How crazy was it? I know 7 of the top 10 teams lost.
7 of the AP top 10 teams lost on the same day.
How about that?
All 5
First
of
time's
the
ever
top
happened.
5 seeds. All 5 of the top 5 seeds also lost.
That's right.
Top 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all lost on the same day.
Kentucky goes down to Arkansas.
Yup.
Auburn loses to Tennessee. Help me with the other ones.
Duke. Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's.
Gonzaga loses to St. Mary's in a 50-point game, which is crazy. Not they lost by 50. I'm saying the game was in the 50s.
That was the ugliest Gonzaga game I think I've ever seen.
You just don't see Gonzaga play like that very often.
No, you do
But
not.
St. Mary's is legitimately good, too. A top 10 defense in the country.
Arizona lost to Colorado.
Arizona lost to Colorado.
Michigan State beat Purdue.
Okay.
I think that's all. Oh, Kansas lost to
That's what-
Baylor.
Kansas
That's the
lost to
top
Baylor.
5. Yeah, I threw Duke in
But
there.
Baylor's also a top
Kentucky
5, so
was
there you
ranked
go.
6th. They lost to Arkansas, and Duke did beat Syracuse. So there was a top 10
Saving
team.
grace.
Texas Tech, your Red Raiders lost.
Yeah, they almost
Who'd
lost
they
again
play?
last night.
Who'd they play?
They on Saturday played TCU.
That's right.
In Fort Worth, they lost.
They lost
by
to
3.
TCU.
And then they won last night against Kansas State in a thrilling game. They were down when I turned it on after the Grizz game, but came back and won that one by 5. So a big win over Bruce Weber's Kansas State Wildcats. Sports Center.
We're
on Sports
talking
56.
tons of college basketball. David Cobb in a minute. Jay Morgan loves talking college basketball, but it's time for me to get in the box. How do you get in the box? Simple, man. It's really simple. But first, how do you sell that box? And I'm talking about your house.
Your house box.
901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. You're welcome. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. Any house, any area, as is. As simple as that. Are you tired of renters? Is it hard to collect rent? Call up Bill, 901-406-1101. Sell your house. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. Are you ready to move? Maybe you want to go down to the Virgin Islands and live down in the U.S. Virgin Islands. You're just bouncing up out of Memphis. Well, you're ready to go. You don't want to wait. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. I'm in the box.
Hey, John.
Hello, sir.
John Morant scored 52 points last night.
Man,
How about that, John?
I'm glad that you I'm glad you knew that coming into the day because lately there's a lot of stories that you haven't been paying attention to.
Right. All of them NBA based. I never pay attention to that, for sure. No, it was a great game, John. Unbelievable. Highest points, most points in franchise history.
What was your most exciting? I'm asking you a question. I'm breaking the rules of the box.
No, please do.
Was it the dunk over what's his name? Like where he just
Jakob Poeltl.
yeah, thank you for that. Jakob Poeltl. The dunk over Poeltl, or was it the half court, like the full court
Steven Adams pass.
pass? Ja catches the junt and then throws it up and in.
I've seen incredible dunks like Jaws last night before. I've
Not
never
since Michael Jordan.
Sure, but I've seen it before. I've never seen what's the pass Steven Adams threw to John. I've never seen that before. That was incredible.
That was dope.
That was awesome.
That was straight dope.
That was that stretch after the dunk. I said this earlier. After the dunk to the end of the half, that stretch of basketball, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. One of the greatest basketball experiences. Whenever you can say, "What in the world is going on?" you know something great is happening.
I will say though,
Couldn't believe it.
when he goes and he flies over somebody and then he throws that joint down the basket.
It was crazy.
That was pretty crazy. I kind of like that.
That was a run up and down the stairs in the stands moment.
Yeah, it was.
You know, like where you have to get up and like walk. You got to take a couple steps to breathe it out. Like, whoa, man, hang on a second.
That was pretty fire.
I did that in my house. I had to go pace around for a minute after that. Like
Bo
good
Jackson
Lord.
when he scored that super long touchdown, he had to just keep running all the way through the tunnel.
Yeah. But fans had to as well, I'm sure, had to keep running. Anyway, John, we covered the Grizzlies, so now I can get to the questions I have for you. It's Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I like to catch up with our emails from fans, so I got to get to this one first. Jamie from Manhattan, New York. You ever been to Manhattan, John?
No,
Times
I have
Square?
not. By the way, did you know prostitution is legal in Manhattan now?
Is that right?
Well, it's
like
not,
Amsterdam,
It is not actually like legal.
above board.
The Manhattan DNA told his officers to quit arresting men and women for solicitation of
So
prostitution.
maybe the New York DA likes him some, ladies of the night, as it were.
Manhattan's legal statute. Go ahead and ask the thing. I'm sorry. When you brought up Manhattan,
No,
I'm wondering why he's living in Manhattan.
Yeah, I don't know. Jamie, and Jamie's also a name, John. Jamie could be a man or a woman. Isn't that something? It says, Dear John, I need to make a copy of a key, but it says do not copy on it. What should I do?
You know what? I hate to say this to you. I'm going to have you read that question again because I just found this and I was reading it.
Answer that first.
Just so you know, they now, not only since the DA, Cy Vance came out and said that they will not arrest prostitutes for solicitation.
Right.
They said that a massive amount of massage parlors have opened up and they're basically now legal. And the thing that they say, they are unlicensed prostitution and massage, blah, blah, blah. But they said Manhattan will criminally not check into them as long as they pay their taxes.
We'll allow it.
We're good. So
Wow, how about that?
crazy. Yes, you actually can go red light district style now in Manhattan.
How about like
What was Manhattan famous for
Times Square?
before? Isn't
Isn't that right? I think Times Square.
Manhattan fame. This
Manhattan Jasper's playing Manhattan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's
dude,
amazing
that is a huge recruiting tool.
Yeah, prostitution is not legal, but it's not criminalized here. It's decriminalized prostitution.
Well, I mean, it opened up a whole bunch of parlors, and
That's
they
right.
basically have them, and you know what you're going to get.
I think you and I might be going to Manhattan here
I
pretty
have a
soon.
feeling. I bet Robert Kraft goes there on a daily.
Maybe that's
now
why.
it doesn't go down to Florida to the Orchid Day Spa.
It's close enough. John, this is from Jamie in Manhattan, New York. Jamie, again, a name that could be a man or a woman. Dear John, I need to make a copy of a key, but it says do not copy on it. What should I do? I think don't do it, because I'm pretty sure like a swarm of black helicopters descend upon you immediately when you copy a key that says do not copy.
See, hold on. Let me do. No.
That doesn't happen.
Maybe in Manhattan, but down south, you ever gone to get a key made?
That says do not copy on it?
Dude's like, hey, this one says do not copy. You give him $20 bill, and he's like, all right, thanks. They don't care.
Wow. So it's a $20 do not copy charge.
It's a $20 do not copy to get a copy. You know, I think they should go to 50. I think we should all elevate. You know, these gentlemen, they're working hard, making keys, you know, filing keys and metal away.
That's right.
Now, I think a machine does it now, actually.
Really?
I don't know, actually.
Who knows?
Do you go get keys made often?
Not very often. That's why I don't know the answer. So you think do it anyway, regardless of what it
I
says
say
on it.
just go up there and do it. You know how many people actually these days, like, they're going to be looking at you. Go find somebody who's all COVID crazy. They're going to be more worried about touching you or you breathing on them than doing anything.
So you think there's never been a better time than now to get a do not key.
Yeah, this is
do
probably
not copy key.
this will probably be easier.
That's a good
Like
answer.
if you walk in and kind of like start coughing or something, people will be like, "Oh, whoa, get out of here! Hurry up! What do I need to do to get you out?" I don't know. I'm feeling it.
That's good advice, John. The next one comes from Scott in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Scott, also a name, could be a man or a woman, says,
I don't know any girls that are named Scott.
Oh, you don't know any girl Scotts? Neither do I, actually.
Okay.
Dear John, I am planning on proposing to my girlfriend, so it's a man. I guess. It's an assumption by me, I suppose. I am planning on proposing to my girlfriend of 9 years. Any ideas on how I should pop the question?
All right.
Do you have a good proposal story, John?
No, actually, I don't.
No, a bad proposal.
I do not have. I'm not. This is definitely not my forte.
Not your wheelhouse?
I will say.
I think go do it at a basketball game.
No,
do it
no,
at a
no,
Grizzlies
no,
game.
no, no.
Next time Josh go to every Grizzlies game. Next time Josh scores 50, propose.
No. Here, that might be 5-10 years from now.
Wow.
It could be. I'm just
John
saying.
doesn't think Josh can score 50 again. That's what he just said.
I'm just saying it could.
For 5 years.
Like you might be holding that ring for a long time, and
That's
then she
right.
might leave you.
That's
But
right.
this is what I'm going to say. Whatever you do, don't do it in a public setting. Because, one, like at a ball game, I boo those people.
Oh.
I can't help it. Like, they're like,
Tacky.
oh, look into the center field, the Jumbotron.
Scott has a message for you.
Scott has a message for Cindy. Cindy, will you marry me? And I'm like, say no.
You're a heckler is what you're telling me.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
So private setting. Don't do it public.
Do it somewhere that's special for y'all.
For you
Don't
two.
do it in public. Don't do it in front of the whole girl's family either. You know why? Because if she wants to say no, she'll probably feel pressure into saying yes.
It's good advice.
I'm telling you, private setting, a special place that is special to y'all.
Give it some thought.
Get yourself on the knee, bruh, and, ask the question, let her cry, shake. I'm telling you, but if she doesn't get, like, tears in her eyes and then
You
they
didn't
don't
do a good
start,
enough job.
you better close that junk and say,
Do it again.
psych!
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Do it again. Try again.
Yeah, no, just realize that this thing
This
ain't
ain't
going
it.
nowhere, man.
John, that's actually excellent advice. Not that I'm shocked. You give great advice all the time. That was excellent advice. I have one. Do we have time for one more before the break?
One more.
Okay. This is from Deborah in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You ever been to Jackson Hole, John?
Yes.
Okay, good. Dear John, what's the best way to let a guy know you're interested without coming on too strong? I think show him your breasts, but not like in an overt way, like, like bent over a table. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know exactly what
I think
you're
that's
saying.
the best way
That
to
is
do it.
actually a pretty good one. I will. Or, man, I'm telling you, all the girl realistically has to do, make eye contact, do the little sip in the straw, and kind of flutter her eyelashes.
Yeah, flutter
like
the
a
eyelashes.
butterfly, you know what I'm saying? Once that happens, there's not a man on planet Earth
Putty.
that can resist not getting up, because for us, that just says, yes, 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 come and get me. So, like, all you have to do, like, just sip your little straw, really cute. Get your lips all perked out.
Flutter the
and
eyelashes.
just look over at him. Hold the eye contact and do the little flutter. And then sometimes if you turn around to your girlfriends and giggle and then look back at him, oh, dude, I'm telling you. This guy's gonna be paying for your next meal for at least 90 days.
Great advice today.
I'm telling you, I'm out here for the advice. We're out here to talk a little college basketball on the other side with CBSSports.com's very own David Cobb, right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Get in the swing of things. Grab your friends, your clients, your employees, and go enjoy everything you love about Topgolf in a luxury suite while at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Topgolf Swing Suite is an immersive social experience offering guests a luxury private lounge to enjoy Erling Jensen's extraordinary food and beverage service, all while playing a selection of games in a one-of-a-kind simulation day. Topgolf Swing Suites are great for workoutings, celebrations, or just getting together. It's fun for the whole family. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. They have more than just golf. They have soccer, baseball, zombie dodgeball, football, and more. Located at 5069 Sanderlin, adjacent to the Doubletree East Memphis. Check us out at SwingSuiteMemphis.com or call us at 901-58-SWING. Again, that's 901-58-SWING at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Book your suite today.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, where we've got more ways to get you what you need your way. Get the job done today with our free same-day store pickup. Just order online and pick it up the same day at your local AutoZone. Or get it done tomorrow with our free next-day delivery. Just order on AutoZone.com by 10 p.m. and we'll deliver it to you the next day. Getting your job done just got easier. Free next-day delivery and eligible orders. Restrictions at AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. Don't forget you can check us out on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and sports56whbq.com. Don't forget to message us at the AutoZone text and listener line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Jaws out of control. MLB lockout news. But it's time to talk college basketball with CBSSports.com's very own David Cobb. David, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, it's March, so doing pretty well.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun month.
It is going to be a fun month. I have to start first. Will the fun continue in Memphis? Will we be excited because Penny Hardaway's team, are they going marching in the Madness?
It's trending that way, no doubt, no doubt. Obviously, the Houston game looms large, and so does the South Florida game. Anytime that you put your team on the floor this time of year when you're on the bubble, you just can't take anything for granted, and that includes playing a really bad South Florida team because
Hey, they beat Cincinnati.
Sure, you just never know, especially going on the road, what can happen. So they're in good shape. Palm's got them last four in as of today. And I think even if they lose to Houston, so long as they win at least a game or two in the AAC tournament, I would think they're going to be in pretty good shape as things stand now. But you never know. I think I feel as good about Memphis right now today because of how they're playing, because of where they are in the various bracketology. I feel as good about them right now as I have since before the season, really. So that's all you can ask for at this point in time, considering how poorly things were going just a month ago.
Yes, I will have to say I'm very excited. I can't believe it, but it looks like Landers Nolly is rounding into form like he did late last season, which means he's rounding in and playing really good basketball. Jalen Duren, every time he takes the court, looks like he's growing.
How about Jalen Duren, by the way? I rank the freshmen every week nationally. And in terms of true big men, like actual fives, guys that aren't stretch guys or whatever, he's probably the best. Now, it depends how you want to categorize Chet Holmgren. You know, is he a five or what is he? You know, I'm going to say Chet Holmgren's got a leg up on Jalen Duren in terms of collegiate performance this season and draftability and all that. But really, in terms of actual, like, big men who don't step out and shoot threes, Jalen Duren's the best freshman big in the country.
I am 100% with you. He's just growing, he's maturing, he's developing, he's blocking shots, grabbing rebounds. He's got that little shot now working. We know how he can flush the ball. He's playing baller basketball. Got to give him a lot of props. The one thing, though, if you look at this Tigers team, it looks like they're playing as a team finally. They don't have the issues in the locker room like they had earlier in the season. Penny Hardaway looks like they finally figured out what to do on offense. They will turn the ball over plenty of times. But if they play really good defense and shoot the ball the way they have lately, I mean, they've improved with their free throws. Their three-point shooting percentage has gone up throughout the season. They're just playing better basketball right now. But is anybody, since you talked about how you do the freshman ranking, is there any freshman that's playing better than Jabari Smith?
Well, he's back to number one in the rankings. So for a long time, Paulo Banchero from Duke was number one in the freshman rankings. And as of like 10 minutes ago, my new ranking published, and Jabari Smith overtaken Banchero. The interesting thing, though, John, is that everyone's been saying all year, Auburn's got to go through Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith needs more shots. He needs more touches. Well, over the last four, he's averaged 25.3 a game, and he as an individual has been great, but that has actually not corresponded to Auburn being better. In fact, Auburn's lost 2 games during that stretch. So is Auburn really better when Smith gets 20 shots a game or something in that neighborhood? Or were they better off when he was sometimes only getting, 9 or 10 or 11 shots a game? That's an interesting question. And I feel like it's got Auburn at a little bit of a crossroads here coming down the stretch.
I would say one thing, though, man, Wendell Green, man, going 2 for 15 on Saturday. I think that's like I was in the second half saying, keep letting Wendell shoot that junt. Don't let Jabari, because I had Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to put his shooting was so bad in that ball game. That's why they went, 10 minutes with scored only like 10 points to start the second half.
Yeah, he's one of those wild card type of guys who, if he's going to be bad in March, Auburn's not going to get anything done. But he's shown on multiple occasions,
He can get hot.
as have some of their other guards. So that's the wild card for Auburn. Obviously, the front court's as good as any front court in the country between Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler. I mean, come on. But those guards, they can flash and be awesome and totally disruptive and get hot from outside and help you blow some good teams out. But then, like you mentioned, against Tennessee, Wendell Green struggles. Sometimes KD Johnson gets a little out of control. And then it's kind of like Alan Flanagan has been lost in the shuffle a little bit this year after being their leading scorer last year. So they got to find that right combination in the backcourt to reach their full potential. And frankly, as somebody who was fortunate to snag Auburn at like 10-1 to win the SEC back in the early season, I'm really hoping they figure it out this week because I would love for them to be solo SEC champs.
All right, speaking of that, right now, who is the best team in the SEC? When you look at the standings, you got, 3 teams tied at the second spot right behind Auburn. Who's going to pull this bad boy out?
Well, I think I'll still go Auburn simply because they've got the 1-game lead, and their 2 games this week are against teams they should beat. So as long as they don't slip up against Mississippi State or South Carolina, it's theirs.
South Carolina's been playing pretty good basketball, which is kind of weird. Like, they've been a covering machine lately.
Yeah, and Mississippi State is good at home. They're terrible away from home, but they're good at home. So it's not like going to the hump and winning is easy, even though I think that fan base is pretty well checked out now that baseball season has arrived. But, Auburn, it's not going to be easy, but it's 2 games that they should win. If they lose one of them, though, I mean, those other 3 are all right there, and one of them at least will share the league title with Auburn. So there's a chance that if Auburn were to lose either against Mississippi State or South Carolina, that Arkansas at Tennessee on Saturday, the winner of that will be a co-SEC champion. So that's the fun part about this week in college hoops is you've got several really good conference races coming down to the wire with the SEC and those 4 teams that are all still in the hunt, and then also Big Ten coming down to the wire, and the Big 12 as well after Baylor got revenge on Kansas to tighten that one up on Saturday.
Hey, David, it's Jay Morgan. I feel like I always ask you questions about West Coast basketball, so I'm going to keep with the trend today.
No worries.
The WCC and a lot of the mid-major leagues start their tournaments this week, and the WCC is kind of structured kind of weird, trying to keep Gonzaga in the league. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago now, where Gonzaga and St. Mary's, the top 2 seeds, essentially have a bye all the way to the semifinals. Have you seen another league do that, and what do you think of that kind of tournament format?
Yeah, it's the weirdest looking bracket that you will ever see because, like you mentioned, Gonzaga, St. Mary's buys to the semifinals. So they go over a week without playing, which I suppose is favorable. But at the same time, you're talking about a reality where Gonzaga is only going to get 2 games and, in a span of over 2 weeks before their first NCAA tournament game. So I don't know if that's favorable or not. And for the most part, no, there are not other conferences that do that, even at the lower level. They are unique in that way. And if you think about it, Gonzaga only plays 14 league games to begin with. And then you throw in that the max they can typically play in the league tournament is 2. Then, only 16 games, even with the conference tournament, against league foes at a time when most other conferences are at 18 or 20 conference games in the regular season, plus a conference tournament. So that is definitely the WCC catering to a Gonzaga program that really props that conference up. And if Gonzaga were to leave that league, I would imagine you would quickly see them go to a 16 or 18 game regular season schedule in a more normal bracket for their league tournament.
Do you think it helps the league? Obviously, it helps them keeping Gonzaga, but like the St. Mary's teams that are playing well, but like people are talking about maybe the WCC getting 3 teams in. Do you think this kind of format does help the other teams in that league just because of the exposure, or does it hurt them more than help them?
This year, it helps that, you're going to have your 2 best teams likely meet in a rematch in the conference championship game, and it'll be a good product, and it'll showcase the fact that the league has 2 legit squads, and I will certainly give credit to St. Mary's as legit after getting it done on Saturday night. I think in the long run, though, the WCC, it's a little bit of a catch-22 with Gonzaga because in years where you don't have other at-large candidates, there's no hope of getting a second team in because it's so rare that Gonzaga is going to not win the conference tournament, especially when you gift wrap them a triple bye to the semifinals. So the WCC is fortunate this year that they've got St. Mary's and San Francisco and BYU, who are all in the mix for at-large bids, but most of the time it's kind of cannibalism in some sense because they cater to Gonzaga, and there's no hope for most of the other teams in that conference in a normal year to reach the NCAA tournament.
Man, that will tell you that St. Mary's win over Gonzaga. I still couldn't believe it. But, man, Drew Timme was horrible in that game. He had one of his worst games. I mean, he was bad.
Yeah, and that won't happen often. And so, yeah, you give credit to St. Mary's. I mean, I've been saying all year that the WCC is overrated and that we're trying too hard to make it into something that it's not. So St. Mary's getting that win does give a little legitimacy to the conference. But still, I mean, I'll say BYU, a team who was in the top 15 at one point this season, they got some serious work to do down the stretch to solidify their place in the dance. And then San Francisco, for that matter. I mean, if they were to lose or trip up early in the conference tournament, how sure are we that they're a safe bet? So there's still a scenario where the WCC only gets 2 in. And even if they do get 3 or 4 in, I'll still reserve my kudos to that conference until we see, somebody other than Gonzaga make a little noise.
Well, the SEC is legit. And, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee. We saw Tennessee hold court last week against the great Auburn team. We saw Arkansas take care of business against Kentucky, and the way Kentucky came back and took that lead in the second half, the fact that Arkansas finished, it was impressive. But the big thing is Tennessee does have Georgia tonight. But, man, on Saturday, 11 a.m. on ESPN, Arkansas heads to Knoxville to play Tennessee. That game, I think, is going to be out of control. Who do you like and why, and who do you like going forward in the tournament? Do you believe in Rick Barnes' team or Eric Musselman's more?
Yeah, that's tough. They're both so good at home. It's almost hard to judge what they'll do in a neutral site environment. I mean, we've seen Tennessee have some total clunkers offensively when they're away from Thompson Bowling Arena. The game at Texas, the game against Texas Tech, prime examples of that. Where they
Arkansas,
really
where they only scored
the first time,
48 points, man.
Absolutely. So Tennessee, that worries me that their shooters aren't as good away from home, that they might not get that same energy and that same edge away from home quite as often. So I think I would side with Arkansas just because you're looking at a team there that has won, I think, 13 of 14 or maybe even, I think it's 13 of 14 at this point. And a lot of those have come away from home, or at least a handful. So you're talking about decent victories on the road for Arkansas over that span. I don't know that I trust either of them, though, to be honest. I think I trust Kentucky. And if we're looking at teams away from home that have done more in neutral site or road environments, honestly, I think Kentucky probably has done the most because they won at Kansas by 18 points. That might be the best win that anybody has in college basketball this season. So I'll give them that. And then, they beat North Carolina on a neutral earlier in the season. So if you're looking for a team that you can trust when not on their home floor, out of those 4 who are in the running in the SEC, I actually think the Cats are your safest bet.
Are you surprised with Baylor being able to take care of Kansas, then go and beat Texas at their house? They got one more game against Iowa State. Looks like they're going to get a number 1 overall seed, aren't they?
Insane, yeah, especially amid all the injuries. They're a team to watch because they've been so banged up throughout league play that it's been hard to get a read on how good they actually are. It's just been one injury after another. LJ Cryer is the most prominent example of, their top 3-point shooter being out for a large chunk of conference play now. And then Flagler and Akinjo have been banged up, and obviously Tchamwa Tchatchoua is out for the year. So I don't know. I don't know if I think Baylor can make a deep run without Tchamwa Tchatchoua, but depending on matchups, depending on what that bracket sets up as, they can kind of go small ball on you with Sokan at the 5, or, Thamba can play extended minutes and has shown that he can do well in that role as well. So I'm not totally out on Baylor because they keep impressing with what they're doing under these circumstances. But at some point, you wonder if the attrition and the injuries catch up with them this month.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked at what they were able to do. What a great stretch for them, playing great basketball. Speaking of great basketball tonight, you got Providence, Villanova. You got the Big 10 matchup with Purdue and Wisconsin, late night action, Arizona, USC. Out of these 3 games, which ones are you most excited to watch? And which one are you going to be keeping your eye on? Because maybe you just don't know who really that Purdue team is or Wisconsin team really are.
Yeah, I think Providence-Villanova does stick out as a game of interest. Providence is already locked up at least this share of the Big East, maybe outright. I have to double check that, but they got nipped by Villanova at home very recently. So for the chance at revenge on the road, it would be a huge victory for Providence. And they don't need to be legitimized. They're a top 10 team at this point. But in terms of busting out onto the national radar, I think a win on the road over Villanova would finally get the attention of some folks who have slept on Providence due to the fact that, you know, their KenPom numbers aren't very good and you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, that kind of talk does seep into the way, you know, the public thinks about teams. And Providence has kind of been undervalued in some circles because of those metrics. So winning on the road at Villanova, I think, would silence a lot of that. So that'll be an interesting game, I think, tonight.
Man, if Providence does go on the road, beat Villanova, how high of a seed are they going to get? Are they stuck at number 2, or could they sneak in there and get a 1 seed?
It's hard to envision that. It's hard to imagine that. They don't have like those, you know, super high end victories that typically you see from a number 1 seed. But if they are a 2-loss Big East tournament champion, you know, three losses, I guess, I think they would certainly be in that conversation. So if you beat Villanova tonight, then you do have that kind of high-end marquee victory that I'm talking about. You know, I think they did beat Wisconsin earlier this season as well, so that would be a pretty good 1-2 punch there. I think they would have to win the Big East tournament to get in the one conversation, but they beat Villanova tonight and go and win that tournament. Absolutely, I think they end up in the conversation.
Are you still a believer in the Illini? I know they beat Michigan the other night, but, man, falling to Ohio State, losing to Rutgers, lost to Purdue, is like win-loss for them.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's everyone in the Big Ten, though. Yeah, I'm still riding with Illinois. I've been with them all along, and I still think that they've got that right combination of super good big man and Kofi Coburn, really good guards and three-point shooting, although they're still trying to put it together with Andre Curbelo, even in now March the 1st. So if they can get it's like there's still so many things with Illinois that have to click into place, and I just keep waiting for it to happen. And I got to think at some point it's going to happen. But you're right, the alternation between wins and losses every other game is maddening. And I still believe, though, that Illinois will get it done and show at least at some point, you know, their full potential as a team.
He is David Cobb. Check him out at CBSSports.com. Read all of his work. And don't forget to follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. And tune in every Tuesday right here at 11:30. David, be blessed. Enjoy your day. And enjoy the hoops tonight, my friend.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
That's David Cobb. Now, we got to take a quick break, but I want to tell you about my buddy Bob Simpson. You know Bob Simpson?
Big Bob.
Man, Bob don't play. He is your local State Farm agent. He's been doing this bad boy. He's got over 50 years experience over in his office. He's the real deal, Holyfield. And remember this, everyone needs protection. Doesn't matter if you're on the field playing ball or maybe on the road. You need to have the best insurance. Bob Simpson's got it over at State Farm. He can buckle you up with auto insurance. He can back up your life with life and health insurance. He can cover your business, whether it's maturing, growing, or starting. Don't forget to insure your home. Doesn't matter if you're a renter or an owner. You need insurance. You need Bob Simpson. Go call him today at 901-381-1233, 901-381-1233, or go online, get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson. We got Gabe Kuhn, a little nooner with Kuhn, but I got a little sneak attack coming up on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Brett Norsworthy and Gabe Kuhn drive you home with Sports Time on Sports 56. Brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, if you're hungry for great Mexican food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, got it. La Guadalupana. Guadalupana, Guadalupana. Choose from tacos, burritos, enchiladas, sizzling shrimp, beef, or chicken fajitas, and even a Cuban sandwich filled with Mexican sauces, chicken, ham, steak, jalapenos, avocado, and more. How about super nachos topped with melted cheese, beans, sour cream, guacamole, tomato, and jalapenos? All great with nice cold beer, domestic and imported. Good prices, generous portions, great service at 2 locations, Summer Avenue and Cordova Road. La Guadalupana.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Top Golf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder is in the house. And, man, we got, I think, a great show going, man. We talked with David Cobb of CBSSports.com. He broke down all the college basketball action for you. We've also got to talk a little bit about Ja a little bit later. He was a baller shot caller. I know you've heard him. They've been talking about Ja all day long.
No, John. I think there's plenty of people that don't know what Ja did last night.
Oh, they do. You really believe that?
No, I don't.
If you went out there and
that.
asked any person in Memphis what Ja did last night, do you think there's any person who does not know?
I think you just invented a segment, John.
I like that.
I think you just invented a segment. I don't know how we can get a microphone live on the streets, but somehow we hit the streets and ask people live.
We could just
what
call
did Ja do last night?
We could just call a random number.
Yes.
On the phone.
901 number,
yeah,
though.
901
Has to be in the city.
You got to call a 901 number. Just call them up, and they'll be like, hello. And be like, what did Ja Morant do last night? Huh? What did he do last night? Scored 52. He's a baller.
Shot caller.
Baller shot caller. By the way, I got some great Hardwood today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you're talking about stories, right?
Yeah, I got we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Because Hardwood could mean something else.
Yes, we got Hulk Hogan. You know Hulk Hogan? He's getting a divorce, second divorce. We have an OnlyFans girl, 25 years old. She's now set for life. She's made $3 million since the pandemic started. She said, when the pandemic started, she couldn't go out of her house, had to figure out a way to make a little extra income. Well, she's now dropped out of school, and she's now traveling the world. $3 million she's made taking pictures of herself. But guess what? These aren't nudes.
They're just implied nudes.
No,
that's what I call...
She pretended to be a giant. She's not really a big person, but somehow she, edited it to where she was just some big giant, girl doing all these giant girl things.
Right.
She's not really a giant.
Wow.
But
false advertising.
Her fans think she is, and she does give relationship advice. So
you.
Like me. I'd give it for free. I haven't made $3 million
Maybe
off of it.
Segment number 2 you thought of this, or a new segment you thought of, the second one you thought of this segment, John, is maybe you start an OnlyFans account where you give advice and dress up in funny costumes. Maybe like a giant one day, or like Baby New Year another day.
I like it.
Thank you, John.
I like it. I'll tell you one thing. I like a lot of things out there. You know what else I like? I like looking good. I like feeling good. Do you like to feel good about yourself? You like to look good? Do you like to be styling and profiling? Or as the kids say, on fleek? Well, you need to head on down to North Mississippi. That's right over in Olive Branch. 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. That's Frontier Western Store. They're family-owned and family-operated since 1967, and they have everything for you. From super tough work boots, dress boots, jeans by Carhartt, Ariat, Wrangler. They have women's wear from their ladies' boutique. They got a kids department. They got it all for you. From head to toe, they got you covered. You can also shop online 24/7, 365 at frontierwesternstore.com. Head on over there. Head online. It's an easy website to navigate it. You can shop by sale items. You can shop by brand, jeans, boots, kids department, women's, men's. You name it, they got it. Frontier Western Store and frontierwesternstore.com. They ship their order out within 24 hours. Any order of $75 or more is shipped absolutely free. Gabe Kuhn is coming up next. We're going to talk a little NFL right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. There are a lot of ways to ruin your roof. Probably none worse than ice and snow. Google the term ice dam, and you'll understand that standing snow and ice can destroy your home's interior. Call me, 867-0303. Damaged ceilings or interior? It's time to call Brian Elder Roofing, 867-0303. We're a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, so we've been vetted and trained by the best. You've known the name for years. Call me before you call your insurance company. We won't try to sell you a new roof if you don't need one. We'll measure your roof from outer space. Call me, 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkham for Sunrise Chevy. Good news for new and used car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has a great selection of new and used cars and trucks, and Sunrise specializes in low monthly payments and secondary financing. At SunriseMemphis.com, you can select your vehicle, get your trade appraised, arrange financing and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep, inspected and ready to go, no matter what your past credit. Sunrise wants to get you financed. Immediate financing with next to nothing down. Need body or service work? Bring it to Sunrise or schedule an appointment online. Find new roads to Sunrise Chevy, 385 in Houston, Levy, Collierville.
Action247.com is your Tennessee sportsbook for same-day pay. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. Win a little or win a lot. Action247 has same-day pay. The other guys make you wait for your winnings. No more waiting with Action247 same-day pay. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action247. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together. So the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. You can follow Jay at Jay Morgan Harder on the Twitter. You can follow me at Johnny_radio. And you can also follow our next guest, Gabe Kuhn, who's on from 3 to 6 on Sports Time with Brett Norsworthy. You can follow him on the Twitter at G_Kuhn71. We're going to talk a little NFL action. Hut. You know why? NFL football season, it never dies. It's 24/7, 365. It's year-round. Gabe Kuhn, what's up, my friend?
Hello there, fella. Like the hut.
I like it, too.
Job.
I know. I'm a little fired up. I got to give Jay a little bit of credit. Jay also had some pretty good jokes yesterday. Jay, you want to tell him about the Derek Jeter joke you had yesterday?
Oh, yes, because there's nothing better than teeing it up this way. Gabe, did you see Derek Jeter step down as CEO of the Marlins?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It was a short stop in Miami.
That's a knee slapper.
That is a knee slapper right there. He caught me off guard yesterday. I thought it was hilarious. But anyway, I got to get to some stuff that I also think is hilarious. And there's nothing like watching big 300-pound men in underwear run down the field. Are you ready for the NFL Combine, which starts on on Thursday?
Always ready. Come on.
Man, I know what you mean. I'm always ready too, dude. I'm a little fired up. Now, I got to ask you, are you a guy who's big on hand size? Like, does hand size matter for you? Do you think that it's appropriate for us to measure a man's hand size?
Look, I think it's taken too seriously in a lot of ways. But, I mean, it makes sense. If you're a quarterback and you have to grip the ball in wet conditions and all that type of thing, I can see where you would have to measure a man's hand. If you're a center and you have to grip the ball and snap the ball every play, I'd understand why you want to measure a hand. But if it's a little bit short and they can still grip a ball, I don't know why we sort of freak out. Why Kenny Pickett has to be under the microscope because his hand is a quarter inch too short.
Well, I just want to know.
A little much.
Does it hurt Kenny Pickett more to actually have his hand measured, or the fact that he won't let them measure his hand?
Well, the fact that he won't let it get measured is kind of weird to me. I've said that from the beginning. But he just doesn't want to be picked apart because of his hand size, so I get it. But if he just gets his hand measured and then moves on with his life, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Now,
we've had small hands in the past, and it hasn't stopped anybody.
Yes, we have. We had small people. Remember Doug Flutie and Flutie Flakes back in the day? And now you have a little
Yep.
person in Kyler Murray, a.k.a. Mighty Mouse.
Although he's got like 10-inch hands. He's got huge hands.
He's got big hands, yeah, but he's just small in
Yeah.
stature. But I will also say he might be a little bit of a pain in the rear, if you know what I mean. Did you see the crazy, the whole long letter that his
course.
agent sent?
Yep, sure did. And I think that he is right now in a weird spot because you have to decide how much you want to pay him, and the Cardinals need to pay him because he has performed up to snuff when it comes to his contract.
He's performed. Can I just interrupt you one thing? He's actually when it comes to his contract, this is what kind of freaks me out when you look at him. His first year he came into the league, he threw 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. They started off the year great. They finished slow. Second year in the league, 26
every
touchdowns.
Every year they started off great and finished slow.
Exactly. And every year, if you look at his numbers, the exact same. So
that's why I'm trying to say they're in a weird spot right now. They're just in a spot where they clearly tried to control the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the front office of the Cardinals. And if I'm him, I'd be frustrated too, in a lot of ways, because you are basically putting these things out there so you don't have to pay me as much in the end of the day. And I don't know how much I like that from the Cardinals front office, because it's clearly the Cardinals front office putting out to the ESPN and to Chris Mortensen that he's spoiled and that he's a me guy, and that that's conjecture. And the fact that Chris Mortensen put it out there as reporting is a little bit embarrassing, because he's been doing this long enough to know that that's not reporting.
Hitting it, by the way, but him not going. Do you think it's basically the contract situation, or do you think management and the upper office was a little pissed off that he didn't go out there for the last series in the playoff game this year? Seems like that was a little bit of a. It seems like that rubbed them the wrong way.
I think that not going out there for the last series has something to do with how they're feeling about giving him $40 million a year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like they are just a little bit scared to give him market value right now, and that's why all these things are coming out the way they're coming out. Now, I still think, in the end of the day, when you get a guy like Kyler Murray and you've seen him perform to the point to get you back into the playoffs after 5 years, to put yourself in a good position after 5 years, you probably have to go give him a contract. I don't know what that number is, though. We've been talking about, market value is what, $40 million a year?
Yeah, it seems like it right now. If you look at Josh Allen, what he's got, what Aaron Rodgers is demanding.
The Cardinals are in a bind. The Cardinals have to decide what they want to do with him. But I don't see why you wouldn't keep him around after what he's done for your franchise. And also, I think there's another layer of this where you have to question Cliff Kingsbury. We've seen Cliff Kingsbury in the past. Cliff Kingsbury is a solid offensive coach, pretty good offensive coach, but a lot of his stuff is gimmicky, and it wears off after a while. I have a feeling they come out next year, and a lot of the rest of the NFL sees what he put on film last year, and they start to understand what's going to go down, how he wants to attack them. Like we saw the back half of this year. Offensively, they weren't that great the back half of this year because there was so much film on them. People had a beat on them. So we'll see how it works itself out.
Yeah, we will. I liked one thing he said, love me or hate me, but I'm going to continue to grow and get better. So we'll see what happens with Kyler Murray. Now, what is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? What is it? He has till March 8th. Like, you can't franchise tag anybody else anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they have to decide what they're going to do with Davante Adams. They got to figure out what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. But did you see what, Packers are going to be playing in London? And I'm sure you saw this. They put out a picture of basically the old Abbey Road video. No Aaron Rodgers, no Davante Adams. What does that say?
Come on, man. I don't know. I have no idea what that says.
I don't know. If you're Aaron Rodgers, this guy he feels slighted at every moment. I don't know why, but Aaron Rodgers not putting him on there.
I know you've seen reports of them trying to sign him back and give him more money, and pay him more and that they feel like it's likely that he'll be back with the Packers.
Dude, I think him saying he wants $50 million is a way for him to get out.
Yeah, I'm not with Aaron Rodgers. I have leaned the entire time. The entire time. I say lean. I know that there's a big possibility he could leave, but I have leaned to him staying in Green Bay because I couldn't, as the GM of the Packers, in my right mind, trade him. What would the return be? The return would be ridiculous. I mean, the amount of first-round picks and then actual players that could make a difference day one you'd have to trade, it's unreal. And are you getting enough value back in general, even if you do that? Because this guy makes you a competitor. You compete for a championship as soon as he's on your team. And you certainly aren't going to trade him to anybody in the NFC, so you're eliminating 16 teams or 15 teams off top. And then trading him to anybody in the AFC stresses me out. Right? If you trade him to the Steelers, that's probably one of the Super Bowl favorites.
Man, if he goes and plays behind that offensive line, that's kind of – he actually makes that offensive line a lot better for the Steelers because he moves around in the pocket as well as anybody.
He moves around better.
Mm-hmm.
He moves around better. If you trade him to the Broncos, he can compete because their defense is still pretty solid. So I have always leaned him going to the Packers. Now, him asking for more money and the fact that they're trying to do this whole contract extension and contract negotiation is a little weird to me.
And they're already $29 million over the cap.
49.
Oh, 49. Damn.
And he's tried to say, well, I want Devontae Adams to be back with me. Well, if you go get signed for more money, you're not going to be able to get Devontae Adams back with you. You're gonna be throwing the ball to Allen Lazard, and that's it. Right, or Randall Cobb. So this whole situation is so ridiculous in so many ways. It always frustrates me that he said with Pat McAfee, "Oh, I'm going to make a decision by the franchise tag deadline. I don't want everybody to be waiting on a whim for me." Well, we're here. We're past the first day of the franchise tag. He didn't say franchise tag deadline. He said the first day of franchise tag, and we're here, we're past it, and you still haven't made a decision. You're still not seemingly any closer.
Man, and the other thing, did you hear what was it, Greg Jennings, what he said about him?
Yeah, Greg Jennings several times has sort of disparaged his former quarterback. He's not a big fan of.
No, you can tell he really isn't. He told, with Aaron Rodgers, what he's doing right now, he came up to Greg Jennings and told him years ago, hey, don't be that guy. We're trying to build something here and all this stuff. Now, I got to get off Aaron Rodgers. I've spent way too much time. Oh, last thing is, though, are him and Shailene Woodley going to get back together, Gabe?
I don't know. He had his intense gratitude session.
He did.
After
he also took her for ice cream. He took her for ice cream.
Yeah, he called up, but they called off the
engagement,
the marriage,
mm-hmm.
The engagement. So I couldn't tell you, man.
Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that loves to eat good food but doesn't like to pay the bill.
Tell me you guys talked about the Ponce Karma cleanse that he did, right?
Oh, of course we did.
You guys didn't miss out on that.
Dude, are you kidding me? Anybody who's going to violently throw up for a couple days and have like medicated enemas.
No, therapeutically. He therapeutically threw up.
Yeah, therapeutic. Yeah, but the way they described it is it's violently throwing up to empty your gut. Then you have enema stuff. You know what an enema is, dude. And then you also have your nose blown out.
And I love how when you look it up, it says many enemas. Not just one enema, not two, many enemas.
Many. Over a course of days.
And then apparently you eat ghee until you evacuate both ends. I mean, that's something.
What about, I don't understand, how do they clean your blood? Like, are they hooking them? They got vampires up in this place?
What I didn't understand was they said that you take drips of something up the nose.
Yeah, that sounded nasty too.
You have some nasal drops. I didn't understand that part of it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's definitely clean right now.
I can see why he had intense gratitude coming out of that, though.
Yeah, I'd be glad it was over.
And being on the toilet for that long would make me pretty. And I'd have a lot of gratitude after that too.
Well, I would too, Gabe. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually, though. I would feel like I was kidnapped if somebody tried to make me do that for 12 days. Like, no way.
Well, I think before I say I would feel like I wouldn't do it. I think think that's apt here.
For some reason, if somebody for research said, John, I need you to do it and I'll pay you, I probably would think about it.
Well, yeah, but for free? Come on.
It would probably be a horrible.
But Johnny, clearly it's the MVP way. That's how you went back-to-back MVP.
It is the MVP way. By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, I'm jumping off Aaron Rodgers and all of his nasty habits. I got to go over to Pittsburgh because you mentioned Mike Tomlin. You mentioned the Steelers. There are rumors that they're in love with Malik Willis in the draft. There are also some weird ones out there like, hey, maybe Teddy Bridgewater or Mitch Trubisky or maybe Jameis Winston. What do you think about these reports coming out of the Steel Town? And is any do you believe Mitch Trubisky can have a second coming or a resurgence? Teddy Bridgewater feels like he's always going to be that. But Jameis Winston, before he got injured last year, he did play pretty well for the Saints.
You know what? Jameis Winston, I feel like it's a wait-and-see thing. Whoever signs him, sign him for sort of a small amount of money, see if he can figure it out after being injured last year. I like Jameis Winston, always have. It was just the interceptions and everything like that, but he was playing safer.
14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions under Sean Payton last year. That was a lot better.
A whole lot safer last year before he got hurt. So I like that thought. Isn't it funny though? You brought up Mitchell Trubisky. Isn't it funny where we're at with him? Now he is considered a starter around the NFL, and I don't know why. Maybe he spent a year at Buffalo. They thought he learned from
Brian Daboll.
From our good friend Brian Daboll, sitting behind Josh Allen. Maybe they think that our man Matt Nagy was really bad at coaching offenses, which he was, to be fair. But the fact that we have gone a complete 180 at 1 year removed from him being a bad Chicago Bear is insane to me. The Steelers also, it's hard for me to imagine after all these years with Big Ben, them going and getting a rookie quarterback. It's hard for me to imagine them with Malik Willis and trying to develop him, or getting a Kenny Pickett, trying to develop him. Although Kenny Pickett would probably make the most sense considering what they have, where he's from, his familiarity.
I have a feeling the Washington football team goes after Kenny Pickett.
I have a feeling.
Oh, wait, the Commandos.
I have a feeling that the Steelers, if they're going to make a move, which they should, because the fact that they said Mason Rudolph would be their day one starter is pretty embarrassing. I think they go for a vet. So that's Jameis, that's Teddy Bridgewater, that's Mitch Trubisky, that's somebody of that ilk.
I just think it's a wild, wild world, and the quarterbacks are always the ones we talk about. And I think it's going to be a lot of a carousel. Russell Wilson, he's gone from Seattle, right?
It's kind of looking that way, isn't it?
I mean, don't they have to? I mean, they're not going to be able to win with him. They need to get some first-round picks. They gave away first-round picks for a safety, man.
Yeah, but the question becomes, where do they send him off to? Where does he okay a trade to? And I would imagine a big market because of Sierra. I feel like the wife in that situation has a lot of say in what she wants Russell to do and what she wants their family to do.
I think you're.
I
think you're 100% right on that one.
But we'll see. We'll see where it ends up being too. But I feel the same way as you. I don't know why the Seahawks need to stick with it at this point.
I don't either. But now I got to ask you about Eric Bieniemy real quick. He's back as the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Also kind of weird that the Chiefs all went out there and hired Matt Nagy to be the quarterback's coach. Do you see Eric Bieniemy? Is he ever going to get a head coaching opportunity? And if he does, is that why they brought Matt Nagy over? Because if Eric Bieniemy does leave in the next year or so, will Matt Nagy move right into that offensive coordinator's role?
Well, he should get a coaching opportunity. He should have gotten a coaching opportunity by now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he hasn't frustrates me in a lot of ways. The fact that he hasn't makes me think that his time may have come and gone already. Because other guys are getting jobs. Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins or from the Niners gets a head coaching job with the Dolphins. You have the dude Nathaniel Hackett, who nobody really was talking about, from the Packers, get a job as an OC. There's other guys jumping the line on him when everybody thought he was the OC that everyone would want. And you see the work he's done with the Chiefs, and yes, you could say that he learned under Andy Reid and that he was behind Andy Reid when it came to offensive play calling. I understand all of that, but he did learn from the guy, and his offenses, he is the coordinator, were the best in the league, basically, while he's been there. So Does he get an opportunity? At this point, it feels like he won't, just because he hasn't yet. But he should. And then Matt Nagy, if if Andy Reid turns to Matt Nagy after Eric Bieniemy, then you know for a fact that his offensive coordinators have absolutely no say over the offense, because you don't hire Matt Nagy back to make any decisions on what you're going to run offensively in Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill's offense.
Oh, it's so weird, the NFL, but it's so fun. I can't wait till Thursday when we get the Underwear Olympics going on. Got to ask you, though, a question. Some weird stuff's going on around the world of the NFL, and it doesn't have anything to do with on the field. I mean, you got, Troy Aikman bouncing. Rumors that Kirk Herbstreit's going to come do some games. He could leave ESPN and go to Amazon and join Al Michaels. There's all these, crazy rumors and crazy numbers being thrown around at these former Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks. Dak Prescott be getting your vocal cords ready. You could probably make a mint. You can see why Sean McVay might not want to coach forever, might want to go and get a $90, $100 million deal to talk on television. You absolutely can understand these things. But have you ever watched a game and been like, yo, I don't know if you know this, bro, but Troy Aikman's on the call. I got to tune in, man. I'm tuning in tonight for that. I mean, is this kind of...
You're hitting the nail on the head with me, Johnny. I brought this up on my show the other day. Does Troy Aikman really move the needle enough for me to watch Monday Night Football any more than I already do for $17.5 million a year? And also,
it's Monday Night Football, by the way. Everybody's tuned in, from the casual fans to gamblers.
And also, Johnny, the question would be, who's his play-by-play guy? Why? Who are you pairing with him? I've liked the Joe Buck Troy Aikman pair, but it's not like they're not the reason I'm watching the game. I've always wondered, in ESPN Monday Night Football, they have struggled with their broadcast. This year, I thought they did better, but they took attention away from their regular broadcast
with the Manning,
with the Peyton and Eli broadcast. So I have been trying to understand this as well. I thought, personally, Johnny, I think Louis Riddick's pretty good. I thought Brian Griese could use work. I don't know why they had two analysts going at the same time. Steve Levy, he's not my favorite, but I can live with him. I don't understand why you pay a guy $17.5 million for one game a week that you're probably going to distract people with the Manning broadcast. Just my thought.
No, I'm with you. I think that especially the Monday night slot. I mean, to pay somebody $17.5 million when every sports bar is going to have the game on, casual fans are going to watch it, gamblers are going to watch it, NFL fans are going to watch it. Could you not have literally Bobo, the bear who rides a bicycle, do the game, and people are still going to tune in?
Johnny, you had Peyton and Eli messing around the entire game, and people were watching that by the end of the year. That's what I feel like. I feel like a bunch of people had tuned into that instead of the regular broadcast. So I don't know how much it helps. It's certainly not going to boost your ratings in any way, shape, or form. You're just paying a guy $17.5 million to basically put his name recognition on your game every Monday night. So I don't get it, Johnny. But hey, I would take the deal if I were Troy Aikman. $17.5 million a year.
I will too. But one thing that I can't stand, this whole Troy Aikman stuff. I mean, this whole Kirk Herbstreit thing. Have you heard that about him possibly leaving ESPN to go to Amazon? Team up with Al Michaels to do Thursday Night Football. I don't know. Herbie doing the NFL just kind of feels a little weird, doesn't it?
I think he could do whatever the heck
he
wants,
could,
man.
but it's just don't leave college football on him.
But you're right. He's become the premier ESPN college football analyst, the ABC game generally, the college game day game. So I completely understand what you're saying. Although I think he'd be just fine and really good in an NFL position too.
Well, Gabe, I hope
we get used to him eventually as that voice.
Yeah, we could. But I will tell you, I hope you get to listen to the show. I hope you're not too busy. I know you got to prep for your own show, but we got stories about a former UFC heavyweight champion arrested for attempted murder charges. We got a fans-only girl who's made $3 million since the pandemic started. And Gabe, She didn't even
Hey.
get naked.
Jay, is he still saying fans only?
Oh, yes, only fans.
Every
We
once
haven't-
in a
We
while.
haven't talked him off of that one.
No. It's like it's permanently
Good Lord.
imprinted on my brain.
Yeah, you can't get rid of that one. You just can't, man. Shout out, but I'll be listening.
All right, Gabe, be blessed out there. Everybody follow Gabe at G_Coon71, and don't forget to tune in from 3 to 6 daily. Be blessed, brother.
All right, man.
That's Gabe Coon. You know what Gabe is? He's a super, super nice guy. And you know what? He's one of those guys that when you invite your friends to go out and do something, like you call up Gabe, like, hey, Gabe, you want to go hang out with me? Yeah. Hey, Jay, you want to go hang out with me? Yeah. Hey, Mike, Eli, y'all want to go hang out with me? Yeah. Where are we going to go? Well, I would say we go to 5069 Sanderland. Do you know why? Because you can have the best food and beverage experience. Erling Jensen Small Bites. That's right, Erling Jensen, a man who's been at basically a founding father of fine dining scene here in Memphis. He's now got another restaurant, Erling Jensen Small Bites. It has the classic entrees. It has a new selection of unique shareables. This is a menu specifically for deliciousness, plus the beverage service. The drinks are out of control, but the reason I'm inviting all my friends to go eat at Erling Jensen Small Bites, not just because the food is phenomenal, not just because they have some big TVs with sports on, but they have Memphis's only Topgolf swing suite. What is a swing suite? Well, it's an immersive social experience. It offers your guests a luxury private lounge so you can enjoy the wonderful food from EJ while playing a selection of games, a bunch of games. You get to play a one-in-a-kind simulation bay where you can play golf, hockey, zombie dodgeball, football, baseball, you name it, you can play it. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. It's great for work outings. It's great for celebrations. It's great just to get together. It's fun for the whole family. Check them out again. They're right there adjacent to this Doubletree Hotel, located at 5069 Sanderland over here in East Memphis. Give them a call at 901-58-SWING. Book your suite today, 901-58-SWING, or go online to swingsuitememphis.com. We'll be back in 2 shakes with a little Hardwood on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
Get in on the ground floor of something really big.
Come to the Southland Casino Job Fair this Wednesday.
Apply, interview, and get hired all in the same day.
When you do, you may be eligible for a $2,000 sign-on bonus.
Come to the Southland Job Fair this Wednesday in the Kennel Club at Southland Casino. Get more info online at dn.careers/Southland.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
Spring is around the corner. That means the sounds of air conditioners cranking up will be in the air soon. Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. This month only, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier AC unit. No gimmicks, just $1,000 off for the Choate's Early Bird Carrier AC Special. If your AC is in good shape, call us to get your $60 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC cleaned and ready for the warm seasons ahead. Choate's is here for all your cooling, heating, plumbing, air duct cleaning, and commercial needs. Call us today at 347-8086 to take advantage of these early bird specials. Or to schedule online, visit ChoatesHVAC.com. So turn to the experts with Choates. And remember, let our family serve your family.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel, Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town. Grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. The Grizzlies dominated last night. MLB trade deadline's been pushed back to today, 4 p.m. Central Time.
Trade deadline.
I'm sorry. Lockout deadline.
Yeah.
Where they're going to miss. Like, if they can get the deal worked out today, MLB Players Association and MLB, if they can get the deal worked out before 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, they can get it worked out. We aren't going to miss any games.
I think in the future in
We're
Major
going to
League,
start on March 31st, buddy.
I think in the future in Major League Baseball, the trade deadline for every season should be March 1st. Like, we go in spring training, we're still in spring training, no more trades. Trades are done.
No.
You're either
There's too many injuries in baseball.
You're a buyer or seller while you're still in spring training. So we know right away before the season starts if you're a buyer or a seller. I think we're onto something.
No, I think you're a lunatic.
Oh, okay.
Raging lunatic. But speaking of raging lunatics, I got a story about a raging lunatic. I'm getting ready to tell you
Not
all
about
about
me,
it.
though.
No. I'm talking about Cain Velasquez. Do you know who? Are you a UFC guy?
I am. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Do you know who fights this weekend?
Not Cain Velasquez.
Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington.
Ooh.
Jorge Masvidal, I'm a big fan. You know Jorge Masvidal, the fastest knockout ever. Remember, he had the flying knee
Yes.
in the first 4
Crushed
seconds.
that guy's face.
Yeah, so he's a big pay-per-view sell. I love me some Jorge Masvidal.
Well, did you ever watch Cain Velasquez?
Of course.
Do you know that he's a 2-time champion?
And a one-time attempted murderer.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, no, he did attempt it. I guess it's still alleged.
No, he's been charged with attempted first-degree murder. Yes. We're going to talk about this in just a minute. We got a lot of crazy stories. We got a OnlyFans story about a young girl who's an entrepreneur. She's now living out her dream of traveling the world. It's just amazing story. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest with you. But you know what it makes me think of? I know how to get out of being, like, selfish. I know how to get out of, like, myself. You know how I do that? I usually go to Hemp 2.0. You know why? If you head on out to Houston Levy Road to Hemp 2.0, or if you shop online at hemp20.com, that's shophemp20.com, shophemp20.com. If you check out these places, let me tell you what you can find. Everything that's good for you. It's good for your lifestyle. It's good for your health. It's good for just your wellness. You know what I mean? Like, you can get anything. And you know they got a new product out. I talk about Hometown Hero a lot. Their edibles are absolutely amazing. They have the strongest Delta 8 out there. And the cool thing about Hometown Hero is you go out there and you get their products, which their products are awesome. But not only are you helping out yourself, you're help supporting our veterans. And that is super, super cool. Plus, they have herb. They have Space Gods. They have these D9 gummies called Happy Fruit. I've had them. They're delicious. They work great. But there's a new Delta 9 out. And it comes in Rice Krispie form. It's also by Hometown Hero. And it's the strongest Delta 9 product in the store, period. 300 milligrams of Delta 9. 300 milligrams of CBD, 600 total milligrams of cannabinoids. It's perfect for relaxation and euphoria. They have 3 great flavors. I'm going out there because I want to try the Rainbow Squares, and I also want to try the Cinecrunch Squares. Whew, Hometown Hero. Don't forget their caviar flower by Herb. It looks beautiful, but man, once you smoke it, it's even better. They also have vape carts. They have pens. They have crumble. They also have full spectrum out there. If you're looking for some CBDA or CBGA, head on out there, get their organic, full-spectrum hemp extract tincture. Tink, 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 easy as can be. They have it out there. They also have products for your dogs. They have products for you. Go out there, talk to their knowledgeable staff. Just tell them Johnny sent you. That's Hemp20, or go online to shophemp20.com. Guess what, Gabe?
I'm Jay Morgan, John.
Jay, I'm sorry about that.
Golly.
It's time to go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Poor me. Not doing very well with the name today. Sorry,
No,
Jay.
that's all right. We'll just get Gabe back in here. It'll be like I was never here, John.
Got you. Well, I wouldn't have heard that great joke today.
Yeah,
The
well, you heard it
shortstop.
yesterday.
I did hear it yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you have another joke?
We'll
get to them in a little bit. maybe.
John, I have jokes for every topic we talk about.
I dig it. Do you have jokes for attempted murder? Because
No.
UFC legend Cain Velasquez has been in jail. He's in custody. Why? Because 3 o'clock in San Jose, 3 p.m. near a local high school, there's a gunfight. Somebody got shot. Nobody's dead, but somebody was shot. Another person was arrested, and that person right now is Cain Velasquez. He has been booked on attempted murder charges. As of right now, he's still currently in custody. He was a 2-time champion. That's right. Man.
A while ago, though.
But he beat everyone from Brock Lesnar to Junior Dos Santos.
Junior Dos Santos, yeah.
Whatever, dude. You think I know these fighters?
Well, you said it like it was some big-name guy that everyone should know, so I just thought I would correct
He
the
is.
name. No, Junior, he is. I agree.
Yeah, that's right, buddy.
I totally agree. I'm not arguing with you. But no, it's wild. He was also recently signed to WWE and was released from that right before COVID, I believe. So he's probably in some money troubles as well, and got in a little scuffle last night, which isn't going to help his money troubles.
By the way, did you know Art Briles got fired?
I did. We stepped down, technically.
I mean, yes, not fired, but amid all the pressure is why he resigned.
I was talking with Dave about this earlier, is what is the sentence you have to serve when you are found guilty in the court of public opinion? Clearly more than 6 years, right? It's at least a 6-year sentence.
I don't think he's ever going to get back into coaching after this.
So a life sentence.
I think it's unfortunate. All this stuff that he did cover up. I mean, after the fact, it's not like he was covering up some really bad stuff.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's no question about it.
So probably.
But it's also, it's just an interesting question. He wasn't found guilty of any criminal wrongdoing, although people would argue that what he did is criminal from like a moral standard, but he wasn't actually found guilty of anything, yet he's serving a sentence based on being found guilty in the court of public opinion. It's fascinating.
We got to talk about OnlyFans and this one young lady, but I want to ask you, why is what's the great soccer player who likes the way he looks?
Junior Dos Santos.
No, Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's right. There you
Is
go.
that it?
Yeah.
All right, Cristiano Ronaldo. Did you hear about what he did yesterday?
No, what'd he do?
So he has 1 million fans that follow him on the IG.
On the IG.
Well, he decided to do a live stream thingy, and it was him in a thong, like a banana hammock.
Well, he's European, John.
He was in a banana hammock taking a shower.
He's European, John.
And 670,000 people watched it live.
Honestly, it's crazy that he did take a shower because, as I just said, he's European. Yeah.
Well,
They're dirty.
He did it on the Instagram. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're going to do it on the OnlyFans, at least make some money. And that leads me into my next story.
Uh-huh.
So this young entrepreneur, she was going to college, young girl trying to finish up. But then this whole thing happened with the pandemic. The Zoom classes, all these things. She was like, she just didn't really enjoy. So she's like, I got to take a break from school.
What does she enjoy, John?
Well, she enjoys money and she enjoys traveling, and she's going to get to do that because, do you know what she did? She got over 100,000 subscribers to join her OnlyFans page. She just did it, started this bad boy in the pandemic. Has already made $3 million. And the way she did it is she pretended to be a giant.
Messing with perspective.
Like, she manipulated the angles of photos. She put smaller things in her room so it looked like she was a giant. And she just answered people in relationship questions.
That's super creative, though,
as
honestly.
A giant. And the woman received $3 million in 2 years by pretending to be a giant who gives relationship advice.
Honestly, well, you got to think of it, John, as like the new age of, especially like OnlyFans and social media. It's like a replacement for what TV would be. And originality and good content is rewarded. And it seems to me, John, what do you think of when you think of OnlyFans? What do you think?
I think of
OnlyFans-
naked people.
Exactly. So this woman had a very original take on this platform, original content. So when you think about it in that regard, it's really no wonder that it blew up the way it did. That's very original and creative.
Like, it is creative. I got to admit, like, you're sitting at home one day, you're like, you know what? I'm going to make a lot of furniture and a lot of things in my bedroom really, really small. I'm going to stream relationship advice as I'm actually a real living giant.
Messing with perspective. That's what they call it in the movie biz.
Dude, it's just $3 million. Do you think we can copy her? Like,
Well,
I'll
now
try
it's
it.
not. Now it wouldn't be as original.
Well,
as
she's
you
now
see.
traveling the world, so we're missing giant content.
So there's an opening there.
There's an opening for another giant.
John, you know what we do every day, though? We stream on the internet. We could get a little bit creative with messing with perspective. Act like you're a giant. Or something better than that. We'll think about it for a while.
Yeah, you need to think about that one.
John, do you think that's a good job, though, what she did? Is that a happy job? You think she's happy in that job?
Yes, because she said that she's now taking down the site because she's earned $3 million and she's traveling the world.
Well, that's such a coincidence because I have a story here, John, about a survey about the happiest professions.
Okay.
Guess what the happiest profession is?
The happiest profession.
Happiest profession. According to this survey.
According to a survey, the happiest profession. The oldest profession in the world.
What's that?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's construction worker.
What?
Which would make sense because they get to whistle at me every time I walk by in a low-cut top. You know?
That is not real, is
Hello, boys. That's what I say as I walk by. I don't know if work is supposed to make you happy in that way, though, John. I always thought true happiness was derived from your relationships outside of work, like friends or family or YouTube videos of old people falling down.
Yes, those are really good. Those
You
are
know?
great.
John, but they also have, with the happiest professions, the unhappiest professions.
What's the most unhappy profession there is?
You know, this is
the oldest profession in the world.
The most unhappy profession is actually people that work in the media.
Really?
Which would make sense because the most advantageous time to work in the media is when everything is terrible or like sad. You know, like news media and stuff like that. Like when things are terrible, the ratings are the best. The Germans call it Schadenfreude. I'm not German. Schadenfreude. The relative unhappiness of others makes me want to rub my nipples.
You're such a wild child. Oh, by the way, you know how you talked about Tim Duncan being the greatest basketball player in the world?
Third greatest, John.
The third.
Maybe
You
the
said
third best.
Well,
we forgot Kevin Durant in that conversation.
You know what? I got a question for you.
Oh, I love this.
Since you brought it up, I'm going to go back to Tim Duncan. I want to ask this also at the AutoZone text and listener line. Are you starting to look at the the draft, the Grizzlies draft, the one where Zion went 2, and the one where Zion went 1 and Ja fell to number 2? Like, is it starting to kind of parallel the draft where Greg Oden went 1 and Kevin Durant went number 2? Is that fair? Is it too early?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Ja's on a meteoric rise, and we ain't even seeing Zion.
I think it's in the same realm of conversation, but I think the biggest difference is Greg Oden was hurt, but also was a little bit underwhelming while on the court in a lot of ways, whereas Zion, whenever he's been on the court, he's been remarkable. And, so I think that's the biggest difference. But it's certainly in the same conversation in terms of disappointments, because especially after Ja scored 50 points last night, jeez,
I know that's what made me think of it. I'm like, dude, Zion's sitting at home eating a cheesecake right now, and Ja dropped 52 all over the place.
Especially when you think about that he is deliberately holding out from the franchise he plays for. Have some pride. I guess it's easy for me to say have some pride sitting here in a radio booth talking into a microphone. But don't you think? Have some pride.
Yeah,
if you're as good as you think you are, so much so that you're willing to hold out for another team when you haven't even played for this one, wouldn't you want to prove something to somebody when the guy that went behind you is scoring 50 points routinely? Not routinely, but 40 points routinely is not ridiculous to say. I'm sorry, John.
No, I liked it. I mean, you can't argue with it. I mean, if he just looks, Ja Morant on the season, if I remember correctly, is averaging 27.6 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
By the way, your big fundamental, did you know Richard Jefferson is not a fan of the big fundamental? Do you know what Richard Jefferson said that made your buddy Jay Williams walk off the set?
Oh, I love this.
He said, Tim Duncan has been carried by people his entire life. except for his hairdresser. Tim Duncan has been given credit for so many things that he hadn't done. Even tonight, this is his first win. Talking about when he won back in the day. Remember when he won he coached a game and he won the game for the Spurs?
That's right.
He's like, blah, blah, blah. This comes up because the Grizzlies beat the Spurs last night.
Right.
And you talked about Tim Duncan. So I'm going back to remind you some of the things that Richard Jefferson said.
When did he say these? Yesterday?
He said it.
Or a few weeks ago.
No,
last week.
He said it
during the break.
Yeah, during the break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He said basically that he didn't do any of the work when he got the W. He said he was actually carried at that time by Becky Hammond.
So because he was carried as a coach, it is negatively affecting his playing career, according to Richard Jefferson.
He said he was carried his whole life by people except his hairdresser. He said Becky Hammond carried him while he was coaching. He said he just stood up and was running his mouth and good things happened for Tim Duncan. He said it's just like his career. He was carried by Pop, Tony, Manu, Bruce Bowen, and now he gets this coaching win, blah, blah, blah. He's a waste of a player, a waste of time. Honestly, he's the reason why the Spurs are struggling.
That's ridiculous. But I will say, in response to that, if you're looking at like I can imagine some people with the way the Spurs have been this year, they're starting to question Greg Popovich. I'm not going to do that, but I know some people would do that. If you're going to question Greg Popovich at all, don't you have to give credit to Tim Duncan then for being that consummate champion? We like to hold up Greg Popovich as one of the greatest coaches of all time, which he is, but he is clearly struggling this season and struggled last season. So it's not like Greg Popovich just walks on the floor and the Spurs win championships. They had great players. Manu, you mentioned. Tony Parker, you mentioned. But the biggest one of all is the best power forward to ever play basketball, Tim Duncan.
All right. By the way, who's also powerful? Have you seen the video of Nick Chubb squatting 500 pounds? He did it so easy. He did it 5 times like it was nothing. Didn't even break a sweat. Didn't have to grunt. He was just like 500 pounds. It ain't nothing.
Isn't grunting part of the fun of squatting?
I would think so. I would
love to grunt.
But you know what also is I'm a little worried about? Do you think Joe Cool is now like Joe Burrow? We were like, he's not your average Joe. Well, he's definitely not your average Joe anymore. In fact, he's now Joe Cool. You know why?
Why, John?
Because yesterday he went and played a little golf. You know who he went and played golf with?
Who, John?
Devin Booker. That's Kendall Jenner's boyfriend.
Right. BF.
Went out there with Nick Bosa. Dude goes out there, dude. If you're starting to play golf, I think he's going to get big time. What do you think about Joe Burrow now? You think he's going to be good at quarterback, or is he just going to be out there partying the streets up?
I think his career's over.
Oh, my goodness.
I think once you get involved with the Kardashians, it's over.
Once you get involved with the Kardashian, your life is ruined. By the way, did you see Tristan Thompson trying to shoot free throws? They still heckle him and scream, Chloe, Chloe. Just watch it. I don't know why you'd actually watch them play basketball, but you know what I'm saying.
On Big Brother, they heckled Lamar the same way.
That is funny. We'll be back to close things out. We got a couple bets as we have 3 huge games, huge games coming up next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The all-new Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Brought to you by Action 24/7, James Gaddis Jewelers, and Acura of Memphis. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So we all know you can get everything you need at a grocery store, but why would you pay more for lesser quality meat? At Louis Deli and Meat Market in Arlington, you're not only going to see the quality in their meats, but you will literally taste the quality in every single bite. Plus, more than likely, pay less. And that's really important nowadays. Got to get together? Fire up that grill with their handmade garlic sausages or jalapeno and cheddar bratwurst. Or how about a hand-cut bacon wrap filet or top sirloin? The absolute best. Or if you want to know how to improve your outdoor grilling, pick up some of Louis' fresh ground beef or maybe their hand-cut ribeye or New York strip. Louis has literally everything for your grill, from barbecue rubs, sauces, charcoal, and so much more. And Louis Deli and Meat Market only carries the finest deli meats and 19 cheeses. And I guarantee you they make the best deli sandwiches in the area. So visit Louis Deli and Meat Market, located in Arlington at 11695 Highway 70, just 1/4 of a mile east of Highway 385. Is locally and veteran-owned. Is Louis Deli and Meat Market. It's the quality you can see and taste.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Remember how 15 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, I used all those savings to buy that golf club that swings for you. But now everyone who plays golf is really good because, the club swings for you. In the future, which is now.
So switch to Progressive and save big because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. There are a lot of ways to ruin your roof. Probably none worse than ice and snow. Google the term ice dam, and you'll understand that standing snow and ice can destroy your home's interior. Call me, 867-0303. Damaged ceilings or interior? It's time to call Brian Elder Roofing, 867-0303. We're a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, so we've been vetted and trained by the best. You've known the name for years. Call me before you call your insurance company. We won't try to sell you a new roof if you don't need one. We'll measure your roof from outer space. Call me, 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
My friends feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. We got some bets for you. We're about to get to help you make a little bit of money. Now, I know you need a little bit of money because everything's going up a little bit. Plus, everybody out there, I hope you're doing me a favor. Like, Jay, you're not drinking any Russian vodka, are you?
No, I only drink Tito's.
That's right. You know why? Because it's crafted right here in the United States, down in Austin, Texas, and it's the best recipe ever made. Tito Beverage in the early 90s, took a huge risk. Went out there, took his recipe, which is 100% corn, decided he's going to still it in classic copper pots, which is a rare thing on the vodka scene. He went all in, made the best vodka in the world. It's slightly sweet, black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Tito's handmade vodka, it really is simply the best. Head over to your local watering hole. I'm telling you right now, they're going to have you covered with the Tito's. Don't forget your local liquor store. You can get a big bottle of Tito's for $32 or less. Now, Mr. J. Morgan. Got to ask you, we have some great bets today, don't we?
I did. I just put away my book. I realized what I was doing, but I remember them off the top of my head.
Well, I was going to say, I know that I love betting against the Lakers. Are the Mavericks one of your plays today?
The Mavericks are one of my plays. It's almost like, John, we just talked about it. But no, my first play that I really like a lot. Well, let's start with the Mavericks. Mavericks on the road going into Los Angeles. The Mavericks are 5.5-point favorites. I know you've said you made a lot of money betting against the Lakers. I'm willing to ride with you on that tonight. And then the Nets play a back-to-back with the Raptors. They played the Raptors last night, got beat by 25, but that was at home in Brooklyn without Kyrie. Tonight they play in Toronto with Kyrie, and the Nets are 8.
Is Kyrie allowed to play in Canada?
I don't know. I think so.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I don't know. It's Canada,
Is
bro.
he not? Well, then play with caution, but 8.5-point underdogs if Kyrie's playing hammer the Nets.
Gotcha.
The other two will leave away.
Man, Jay, you are the man. I love it. Yes, let's go with Luka Doncic and the Mavericks against the Lakers, 9 o'clock on TNT. Dallas minus 5.5. One other thing I want to remind you. Do you need a place to watch it? How about Getaway Sports Bar? 4632 Winchester Road. Oh, my goodness. It is one of the best-kept secrets in town. Coldest beer in town. Tons of pool tables. Great bar grub. Got a couple reviews right here. Awesome place to shoot pool and hang out late night. great food, diverse crowd, great drinks. Another one, good food at the right price. It's whether if you're for lunch or you're walking out at daybreak. Man, try not to be late for work. Shoot pool, drink beer, enjoy life. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester Road. Check them out. My time is come and gone. Coming up next, we got Grind Time. I have a feeling they're going to talk a little bit about the Grizzlies and some Ja Morant. For Jay Morgan, I'm John Harden. Y'all get out there, make the world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
But do it real big, exactly like a player should. Enjoy your 24, do your thing and rep your hood.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have